Disciplined people, and so we will keep to time. Thank you, everybody, for joining. Thank you for choosing to do things better. We started this workshop so that people can do things better, understand that there's something called financial freedom, and that they can be financially fit, and that every one of us has an opportunity to grow wealth. We're very grateful to Cardinal Stone for choosing to support us this year. Today's model, this morning, we're going to have a session. I'm going to introduce everyone around the call to financial freedom, and we'll be talking about what the things we need to do to be financially fit. We'll do that for 1 hour, and then Coach Mata will come and talk to us, because I did invite some students to be part of this. Coach Mata will come and talk to us on how we can be successful in academics, because it is a foundation for growing wealth. You can take decisions better if you're academically educated and if you're successful in your academics. And so in the evening, we would have Dr. Titus Udom talk to us about compound effect. And Dr. Ayode Jebo would spend 1 hour talking about investing, the basics of investing. And tomorrow, we're going to have 2 speakers, and then Sunday will be the grand finale, and we would also have 2 speakers. Now, we want to encourage our students, and so we have prizes for students that stay and participate in this program and choose to be interactive when they're on the program and attend every single day of the event. We have prizes for students. We also have consolation prizes, almost everyone who participates will be able to get something back, at least for their data or for the time they've spent listening. Now, Cardinal Stone is sponsoring our star prize. We're going to give a seed fund to someone who wants to start a side hustle or who already has a side hustle. We'll also have 5 consolation prizes for 5 entrepreneurs. And the winners would have access to business mentoring from my partners, from myself. You'll get finance coaching. We'll guide you on how to do your business better and how to grow your business. I will be your host for the 3 days. Some of you know me already, and for those who don't know me, I'm a chartered accountant. I'm also a chartered banker, and I'm a certified financial education instructor. I started this community in 2018, started talking to family and friends in the church, biological family, and then friends and mentees, and we just started upscaling and opening up to teach more people. And then I got more partners to work with me to share their experience and to make sure that people can do things better. When I'm not doing finance coaching, I'm a wife, I'm a mom, and I also volunteer together with some other trustees. We run the Railroad Dream Solid Foundation, which we have been running since 2009, where we send indigent Nigerian students to school. Now, the goal of this program is financial freedom. Like I said, it's all about financial freedom. And it's important that people understand that it is possible. The African culture, the African setting makes us think that people are responsible for us. Permit me to use the language that way. Not all of us, but some people think that there are other people's responsibilities, and it's the way, it's a cultural thing, and we want to shift the culture. Let's talk like Gaze Baba. Now, we want to shift the culture. We want people to understand that they can do things for themselves, and that financial freedom is open to everyone, and no one is responsible for any other person's financial progress. So like I said, the first module, Introduction to Financial Freedom and Financial Fitness, I will be taking that for 1 hour. The second module, Coach Mata will be taking that. And then we should be having Coach Ramat, but I'm not so sure. I'll let you know as the day goes by. And in the evening, we would be having Dr. Ayode Jebo. He will be talking about investing in the simplest of forms. On Sunday, we would have Dr. Charity talk about how we can personally invest in stocks by ourselves. But Dr. Ayode is going to break this down, investing in the simplest of forms for participants today. And then Dr. Titus will talk about compound interest and wealth creation later today as well. Now, like I said, we have two speakers for tomorrow. Shaya will talk to us about debt management, and we're going to have Engineer Nee talk about how entrepreneurs can build passive income from their businesses. And there is a special appearance by a guest speaker who's coming to share her experience of how she built her business, even while working as an engineer, as her daytime, full-time job. I think it's an experience that everyone should listen to, whether you're in business already or you're anticipating that you will start or grow a side hustle. On Sunday, Dr. Charity will talk to us about investing program for adults. And then Dr. Theo will be talking about how we are going to preserve this wealth that we say we are building. And then it will be a wrap for the year. As usual, we encourage people to attend all 3 days so they can be eligible for the prizes. And we always say, follow us online. And there are so many resources that we have online. These things, when we talk about these things, we're just like scratching the surface, but the real meat is being in touch with us and following us, seeing all that we have to share beyond the few hours that we come together whenever we have a webinar or a workshop. Now I'm going to quickly start sharing my slides so that I can stay within my 1 hour. Similarly, I'll be looking up to you and Dorcas to tell me what's happening on the screen. Is the screen, are we good? Can you see my slides?
Yes, ma'am, we're good.
Okay, thank you. And you're going to let me know. Okay, thank you, Fatia. Thank you, Matthias. You're going to let me know if there's any comment or question for me as I go by. Yes, you can see clearly. Thank you so much. Okay. I don't want to block the slides, Timilane. So how is it showing? Is the slide showing, or is my picture blocking the slide in any form? Can you let me know, Timilane?
No, ma, the slides is showing very well.
And okay, so your picture and mine is not blocking the slide in any form?
No, ma.
Okay, thank you, everybody. So we're going to talk quickly in the next few hours about this concept of financial freedom and financial fitness. I put this because I wanted to encourage parents to let their wards understand that there's something different from academic intelligence. There is financial intelligence. Yes, it's also always about attitude. That's something we say in this community. We say nothing can stop the man with the right mental attitude from achieving his goal, but nothing on earth can help the man with the wrong mental attitude. So the question is, what attitude do you have? We're talking about entrepreneurs, we're talking about investing, we're talking about, even conserving and preserving the wealth. We're talking about academic success. What is your attitude? What attitude are you bringing to the table? Thomas Jefferson says, the man who has a wrong mental attitude can not make it. If you have the right mental attitude, you will achieve your goal. The attitude of, no matter how tough things are, I can excel. No matter how tough things are, I can do things better. A good attitude, an attitude of gratitude, of respect for other people, respect for people's time, and respect for your time. Attitude is very important. Now, the goal today is financial freedom, and we're going to try and run through this this outline 6, but I know it would be a stretch, but I'm not going to drag breaking down certain topics because we've spoken about some of these things, and we have We have recordings on our website that can explain these concepts better. But I would like people around the call to understand these elements. And so I'm going to scan through the 6 things today. Now, the question is, what is financial freedom? This woman this morning is talking about financial freedom. What's she talking about? Is it earning a salary? Is it getting a good job in an oil company? Is it working as a consultant in an engineer, or as a consultant in a hospital? What is financial freedom? I want you to understand that financial freedom is that place, that status that you achieve, the place you get to when you have enough money, you have enough income to pay your living expenses. And now we're talking needs and wants, and I will break down needs and wants down the road. That's when you get to that state where you have enough to deal with these things for the rest of your life without being dependent on a mother, a father, an uncle, an auntie, all those people that we send text messages to at the beginning of the month. Happy new month. Remember that I'm still here. Happy Saturday, happy Friday. I know that people in our community, as when you begin to work with us and begin to follow us, you understand that it's good to reach out to people, but the aspiration is that you want to have your own. You want to be in a place where you are the one receiving the happy Saturday, happy New Year, all those text messages that are very patronizing. You want to get to a place where you have money, you have income to meet your expenses without depending on anyone or any active job. Remember, I said it's not a consultant salary, it's not an oil and gas salary. Now we'll continue. I'll break it down further for you. Now, for you to be financially free, you have to be financially fit. You cannot acquire wealth if you're not financially fit. And what's financial fitness? It's having the right habits, the right money habits, understanding what budgeting is, understanding that you don't need to follow the Joneses, understanding your financial priorities, knowing that you have to have a financial plan. Where do I want to end up? I'm 21 today. Where do I want to be at age 40? I'm 55 today. Where do I want to be at age 70? So you have to be financially fit. You have to understand those basic concepts, which we teach in this community, to be able to be in control of your money. That's financial fitness. Without financial fitness, you cannot acquire wealth. If you even win lottery, if you're not financially fit, you'll mess it up. Now, we said financial freedom is where you have money meeting all your needs. And then when you're financially fit, you know that money begins to work for you, not you working for money. I make it so simple. So I keep referring to exclusive jobs that pay so much. And I keep saying having those jobs is not financial freedom. But when you have those jobs and you're earning money and money is working for you, then you are in a place of financial freedom. Now, there is something that is called passive income and active income. I will explain it as we go by. Financial freedom, you get to a place where passive income is income that you make without laboring, where money is making more money for you. Active income is you go to a work site as a builder, you work so hard, you're paid. Active income is you're a consultant, you go to the hospital, you consult, you're paid. Active income is you are a teacher, you go to the classroom, you teach, and you're paid. You're working for money. But passive income you make when money is working for you. Okay, so the conclusion, what we are saying is that you achieve financial freedom by staying financially fit. And we say you have financial freedom when you have enough money working for you. When your money begins to work for you and you are not working for money, then you get to that place of financial freedom. Now the question is it possible? Yes, it is possible. And that's what we teach on this forum. That's what my partners are, and I encourage people, the different elements of financial fitness. We teach it so that people understand, no matter how old you are, that financial freedom is possible. And one of the passions that we have, one of the reasons why we're so passionate about this program is that we want people to understand on time. We want young people to know that, yes, it's good to go to school, excel academically. Coach Martha is coming to talk to us about that. Yes, it's good to aspire to have an oil and gas job. It's good to aspire to be a medical doctor. But we want people to understand very early that, yes, there's something called active income and there's something called passive income. And for those who have read Rich Dad, Poor Dad around the call, they will understand the difference between passive income and active income. Now, I try to explain, and these slides will be available for everyone who registered. That's why we encourage people to register. Anybody with the link can watch us today, but people who registered will get the slides. So while I encourage people to take note of main concepts, major concepts that should drive your work and your work towards financial freedom, we would also share the notes later. When your passive income exceeds your expenses, your obligations, your financial obligations, then you can sit back and say, yes, I've arrived. Now, the goal is to move us from active income, because we will start from somewhere. We'll start from active income and then we'll move to passive income. But the goal is to make sure that we don't stay too long at the bus stop of active income, that we understand that there's passive income from day one of having fantastic jobs. That's why we talk and discuss these things. So we want to move from active income to passive income. Now, there's a difference between making money and attaining wealth. You only grow wealth when money begins to work for you. When you're working hard, you're running a business as hard as you can, you're making money. But until you translate the money to begin to make and multiply itself without your labor and stress from your end, then you begin to grow wealth. Now, what is financial fitness? You have to be in control of your money, do all those things I was talking about. Tax planning, you have to understand what it means. Some people expand and enlarge their wealth just by being smart with their taxes. They're not evading tax, they're just managing it, right? And some people grow wealth and they can't retain it because they don't plan their estates. Some don't work with budgets. Some don't even have financial targets. They don't have financial plans. Please, if you do have a financial plan, just put in the chat box, I have a financial plan. If you don't have a financial plan or you don't have targets, just put, I will set financial targets. That's the idea. Not every one of us has always been in control of money. We just grow to begin to be in control of money, right? So please encourage us. Let's see your chart in the chat box. Financial fitness, you work, you have smart budgets. You understand what it means to save. As you're working, you're earning active income, you're understanding that you should save so that you can invest and begin to earn passive income. Financial fitness is understanding and applying money skills so that you are in control of your money, and that in the best way possible, you're managing your money. So stuff like financial planning, financial targets, setting your financial targets, working with coaches and financial advisors, taking the right investment decisions, budgeting, things like that. Those are the things that keep you financially fit, right? Financial fitness means being able to manage your money in order to meet your current and your future needs, and then ultimately achieve the financial freedom we're talking about. Your ability to apply what I call essential money skills to keep you in control of your money. And if you're part of our community, if you're someone who has been connected to the FinanceCoachBK community, we teach these skills. We bring people to talk to us about different elements of financial fitness. You are aware, you are financially you're financially educated. Excuse me. You understand what it means to be financially fit. If you're working with us in our community, you would put it on the front burner. You won't just get your salary and allow you to be, like they say, from hand to mouth, not being purposeful about what you're earning, not directing your money, just allowing, you're not playing chess with your money. You're intentional. Now, financial fitness is a life journey. You don't say you do financial fitness for 6 months and you have achieved a particular financial target and then you go to bed. It's a life journey. What you and I are doing today, we're learning to be financially fit. And as I coach people, I'm even getting better. I'm also getting better in financial fitness. So it's something that we have to do continuously. Now, I might have to speed up. I've explained passive income and active income. Yes, they're two different things. making money is different from creating wealth. And you can link making money to active income. Then you can link passive income to creating wealth. Quickly, there are some things that we need to do, that we need to have to be financially fit. One of them is what we're doing today. You have to be intentional and deliberate. You have to say to yourself that you will do things better. I will do things better. You know, the way in January when we have New Year resolutions, you have to have those, you have to be intentional and say to yourself, this is what I want to achieve. This is how I want to do things going forward. Then you must also get financial literacy. This is what we're doing. Work with people who can teach you about money. It won't just come. It won't come by being on Instagram and watching comedy skits. It will come by reading books, listening to people who have experienced and have made mistakes, teach you how not to make those mistakes again. Financial fitness will come with you having a person that you call your mentor, that you can reach out to help you when you need to make a money decision. I have financial mentors. I'm a finance coach. I still have people who coach me. I still have people who guide me. Now, I said you have to be deliberate and intentional. Now, there's something I like to share, and it is that if we don't change anything, if we change nothing, nothing will change. You have to choose what you will change, and then something will change. Tony Robbins is an American businessman who is well known for, motivational speaking. And he says and guides, this quote is from him, and it guides us to understand that as we're learning, we must change. So as you're listening to me now, I hope you're reflecting and asking yourself, what am I going to change? What am I going to do better? This woman is saying it is possible to be financially free. What are the things I need to do? I have this job, I have this business. These are the things that I have been doing. What can I do better? So we must identify the things that we want to change so that our circumstances can change. What does it mean to be deliberate? You're conscious, you're intentional. I said it, in those days we'll do New Year resolutions and then we begin to work at them. If you're not conscious of what you have decided in January, but sometimes even before the end of February, you've already derailed. So you must be conscious and intentional. I want to do this. I want to have financial freedom. I want to be financially fit. So it's what's intentional, things that you do on purpose, things that you do deliberately, you plan, you calculate. That's intentional. If two people want to get married, they have decided and they will work and plan towards it. They've calculated and they're deliberate about it. That's what we also have to do with financial freedom. Quickly, I see that I still have so many slides. So you have to, for us, when we're talking about being intentional and deliberate, I think I want to encourage people around the call that one of the things you have to put on the front burner is that you must have a financial target. You must have a goal. How do you want to end up? How do you want to end up? Do you, people who want their children to be their retirement benefit, they go on having so many children and then thinking that the children will be their retirement benefits. That's their target. But what is your own target? Do you want to be comfortable in retirement? What's your target? How long do you want to live at home? When do you want to move out of home? When do you want to have your first asset that will give you money? I'm not talking about cars now. What do you want to do? Where do you want to be? If you live on Victoria Island and you want to go to Ekpe, you're not going to start facing Ikeja. And I'm using these examples because majority of our participants live in Nigeria. Now, deliberate and intentional, you must have financial targets and goals. Where do you want to end up? Then you need a plan. If you're in debt today, and it's not bad, we'll talk about that later. If you're in debt, you have 1 million naira indebtedness as a business person, you can set a target and say you want to crash it by at the end of the year. What are you doing? What's your plan to make sure that you repay that loan and that indebtedness goes down? There are so many illustrations. I'm just using this as an example. Now, deliberate and intentional. You have to have someone that you look up to, someone who you check your decisions, your money decisions with. someone who will tell you and say, no, you don't do CBEX, someone who will guide you and say, did you hear that there's an investment opportunity in this place? I've checked it out. I know the people. I know it's a good opportunity. So we all have to have financial mentors and coaches. I have. And so it's one of the things you need to do about being intentional. You have to have an accountability partner. When your budget begins to derail, who calls your attention and asks you questions? Someone who will tell you that, look, madam, you don't have to buy every Ashwebi that they announce in the church or in your age group. Now, I want to say that it's never too late. I know I'm talking to young people for this day one. It's never too late. I know there will also be some seniors around the call. We must start by looking at ourselves, examining where we are at, and then ask ourselves, what are the bad habits that I have, and then do what I call a financial detoxification. I used to buy, I'm not saying me, I'm just using as an example, because I've never been a fan of Ashwebi. But if you use, someone may say, oh, I buy every Ashwebi that my age group announces. I don't think that's worth it. Oh, I'm always, I join Esusu. When I do the parking, I can't point to what I did with it or what I do with it. So there's so many bad habits. And if we get to it, I do have a list down the road that we can look inwards and say, no, I don't want this to happen anymore. Those are the things we're talking about being intentional and deliberate. You begin to choose wisely. One step at a time, and then get professional help. That's what my friends and I in this community do. And we help for free. We want people to be better. We want people to do things, point to this community and say, oh, it was a finance coach or a mentor or an investment advisor or a lawyer from the FinanceCoachBK community who guided me, who provided this help for me. Seek help. If you don't open your mouth, people don't know that you're in pain. You have to speak out. If you belong to a church, speak out. Ask for help in the church. Now, if you want to change the fruits, you first have to change the roots. And if you want to change what people see, then you have to change what people don't see. That's what we're talking about, the bad habits that people don't see, that translate and give us bad results. You want to change that. If you want to reap well, if you want to be able to help other people, grow your wealth to the place where you not only care for yourself, but you care for other people. What are you sowing? You need to begin to sow the right seed. You need to begin to take the right action. Now, there's some concepts that are important that we do know. And I'm not monitoring the chat box just in case I have young people who I'm speaking too fast for. Yes, thank you, Deji. Jerry says, I'll do things better. Yes, I will set financial. Excellent. Thank you all. Now, there's some things that are important that we need to understand. Net worth. I mean, we're talking about concepts here that will guide us into financial fitness and financial freedom. Net worth. What are you worth? At any point in time, everyone must know what they're worth. And it's something to keep your eye on. If you're a young person, understand that before you even start working, that there's something called net worth. And what's net worth? What you own and what you owe. It means it represents your overall financial status. Now, what we aspire for is that we have more assets than liabilities. But liabilities can also help you grow wealth. Liabilities can help you enlarge and grow your wealth. We have a speaker, Shaya will be speaking to us on Saturday about that. So you can take loans. But when you take loans, do you take loans because you want to do a 50th birthday party? Or do you take a loan to enlarge your business? Now, the ultimate is that as we walk towards financial freedom, that's our net worth, that we do have net assets, okay? And a positive net worth means that you have more than you owe. Remember, I'm saying that it's not bad to owe, but you need to understand what it means to owe right. It's not, the quick loan apps where you just go, you borrow money because you want to flex in front of a man or flex in front of a lady. No, that's not it, okay? We'll get to it, we'll discuss about it. But net worth is something that is important. So if you've never considered it and said, what am I worth? And you have to put it on the front burner. You have to understand that it is something that if you're going to be financially fit, you need to understand. We have conversations on our YouTube channel where we explain these things better. And if you have any concepts that I'm talking about today that I've gone through, I've not broken down so well, please feel free to send us an email. We'll explain it, book a session with us. We'll talk to you for free. We'll guide you for free. Can I have a Gmail in the chat box, please? Thank you. Thank you, Dorcas. Thank you, Timileyin. We talked about assets. What are assets? What are liabilities? Assets are valuable things that you have. Your money in your bank, your houses, your car, jewelry. They are things that you own. Liabilities are things that you owe. But like I said, liabilities can fuel your assets. Liabilities can fuel your wealth enlargement and creation. Now, the second thing I want to talk about is financial literacy, and I'll be very fast about that. It's what you're doing now. But in which ways can you get financial literacy? You sign up for newsletters, join relevant communities. Some of the banks, excuse me, some of the banks that I use, they send out newsletters, and I make sure that I read everything as much as I can. Well, let me not say everything, as much as I can, because that's where you get information about what is happening, what will happen, what is government choosing to do, what direction is government moving. You have to stay alert. You have to be very conscious of what's happening in the financial world. So financial literacy, you can get from newsletters, you can join relevant communities. I encourage the young ones. We have a group. If you want to join our group where we mentor young people, you join. We send you things. When we have opportunities, we have speaking events, when we have people coming to share their experience or their stories, we invite you. Excuse me. And then you have an opportunity to ask us questions. You have an opportunity to ask us questions. I also say follow as many finance pages as you can, attend webinars, money discussions, and read good books, good money books. Rich Dad, Poor Dad. Please put in the chat box if you're, I didn't ask for ages. If you can put in the chat box, if it's okay, you don't have to put your specific age, just say teenager, just say above 20. Please help us, it helps us improve the program, the delivery of our program. So please put your age in the chat box. Don't have to put the exact age, just say above this, and that would be good enough. Now, if you've read a money book recently, please put in the chat box. If you've read any financial literacy book, put in the chat box. Now, there's so many pages to follow online. You can follow us. I follow Nairametrics. I'm always very eager to see how they analyzed, and there's so many people you can follow online. Now, the third thing I want to encourage you people around the call to do in order to achieve financial fitness and financial freedom is to choose a mentor, choose a coach, work with someone. If you haven't set your financial targets, for example, a coach can help you, someone can guide you. And if you make yourself accountable to people, you do things better. You don't make mistakes, you choose rightly. What will a mentor do for you? A mentor is someone that can guide you, a counselor, someone that you trust. The person has experience in a particular business area or a particular finance area, and the person can teach you from their mistakes. And they will say, I made this mistake, I did this, from their experience, because sometimes experience is with mistakes, sometimes it's not with mistakes. Based on their experience, what they have achieved, what they've seen that worked and didn't work, and then, you will be accountable to that person. Okay, and a coach, how is that different from a mentor? A coach is someone who is more readily available. The person can hold your hands and guide you, tell you step by step, these are the things to do. A coach will help you, for example, build your budget if you choose to. I'm just giving an example. While a mentor can be far from you and you can, just look and aspire to be like them, while occasionally being accountable to them and occasionally reaching out to them and with decisions when you have decisions to make. But a coach will guide you, and a coach is more practical. I'm not saying one is better than the other. You need both. You need both. And in some cases, I've had people come to me say, I want to pay you to be my finance coach. And I say to them, that's not what I'm set up for. I can coach you, I can guide you, but I'm not working as a paid finance coach at this time, right? So people come, and some people can say, I want you to be my mentor. I want you to I want you to be my mentor. Now, quickly, like I said, we have the slides available. With the conversation today towards financial freedom and financial fitness cannot be complete if I don't talk about the ESI model. If you're part of our community, or if you think you know what ESI means, could you quickly put in the chat box? Yes, Olubodi Babafemi, thank you so much. You've read Rich Dad Poor Dad by Robert Kiyosaki, The Richest Man in Babylon. Yes, Investing in the Future. I would like to see that one. Invest in the Future. Yes, Psychology of Money. Ooh, Smart Money Woman. There's a movie, Smart Money Woman, as well. Yeah. Think and Grow Rich, Atomic Habits, The Millionaire. Oh, I have some finance coaches around the call today. Thank you so much, everybody, for joining us. Juliet, I see you. It's good to see you. Now, if you understand what ESI means, I just want to rest my voice for a second. Please put in the chat box. Thank you so much, everybody. I just needed to rest this voice a bit and then to see those around the call. I appreciate everyone around the call. Pastor Booming Clinton, I see you. I hope it's one of your children using it, or it's both of you and the children joining it. It's good to see you online. Quickly, so ESI, it's the acronym that we use in this community to help ourselves work towards financial freedom and to grow our wealth. And yes, some of the people got it right. Deji says, earn, save, invest. Light, it also says economic sentiment indicator. Wow. Now, in this community, we say the way to achieve financial freedom, the way to grow our wealth is to make sure that we are earning more. Whatever we're doing, we want to earn more. We have big, good jobs today. We're consultants, we're engineers, we want to earn more. The S stands for save better. Are we even saving at all? We want to save better. Then I stands for invest well. How are we investing? Are we even investing at all? So in our community, we say we grow our wealth by focusing on the ESI model. You want to earn more, you want to save better, and you want to invest well. So I'm going to talk about that briefly because it's very essential to financial freedom and to growing our wealth. And maybe I'll just touch a little bit on budgeting. It's very important. And like I said, if you need help with budgeting, we're here to help you. We have a FinanceCoachBK budget template that we can share. And it just helps you. You just plug it in. You put in the numbers. What are you expecting in terms of cash inflow, in terms of income? What are you expecting to spend on? Because you see, it's not just a terminology that is taught in the classroom or just there. It's if you do use the budgeting tool, it will move you from one level of financial fitness to a higher level of financial fitness. Allow me to put it out. So while it may be okay for you can say you're doing things well without having a budget, try using the budget. A budget is very important. It's simply a statement of your income and your expenses for a specified period. Now, but without identifying where you're expecting money from or identify where you want to spend, what you want to spend on, you cannot establish the difference with which you can say, this is what I have to put into savings. And this is what, and you can, unless you build up your savings, you cannot start investing. Now, other speakers are going to break these things down for us, simplify things. And like I said, we have conversations where we have simplified these things, but it's very simple. It's a tool to give direction to your money. It's a tool to give direction to your desire to do things better. If you don't know what you earn and you don't know what you're going to spend it on, you don't know the room that you have for savings. And I keep saying, I don't know if I have it in this slide part. If you don't know where your last Naira went to, the likelihood that you will know where the next Naira will go to is going to be very slim. Now, there are three ways people choose to live. Some choose to live beyond their means. They spend more money than they have. Others live within their means. They spend only the amount of money they have. They spend what they have. They don't borrow. Then some spend below what they have. The question is, how are you choosing to live? And I am not unaware of the things of the current situation in Nigeria, where things are hard because the government is trying to do things better and clean up a lot of the economic mess that we've had for years. So things are tough. Naira has been devalued. There are so many things. But you can, with using budgeting as a tool and deciding what you will do and choosing wisely, you can do things better. And I took that pause in this explanation to talk about being aware of what's happening in Nigeria, because the essence of this workshop is to make sure that we're not just going day in, day out, it's bad, it's tough, but pulling people and helping people understand that there are things that we can do better. There are things we can do differently, and then giving people opportunity to help themselves do things better. So the question is, how are we living? Are you living beyond your means, within your means, or beneath your means? If you don't live beneath your means, let me go back to this picture. If your expenses are not below what is coming in, you don't have room for savings. I'm not going to spend too much time on budgeting. I have a conversation on budgeting on the website, on the YouTube channel. But what we encourage is that, because there are needs and there are wants, and we need to save. Now, the rule of thumb is to divide your earnings into what we call the 50-30, 50-30-20 budgeting rule. But then depending on the stage of life that you are in, if you're a student, for example, what's coming into you? Are you able to make wants zero? Want is desire. Excuse me, please. Want is not necessity, it's desire. Needs are necessities, okay? Let me use something like a telephone as an example. A telephone might be a need, okay? It might be a need, it might be essential for a mother who is at work because she wants to monitor her children and all of that. I know the fundamental things that we call need, and we say housing, shelter, food, and the other. But while a phone is a necessity, now saying that you want to go for the latest iPhone model might be a want. So the point I'm trying to make is, when you do and focus your expenses on your necessities, how much room that you can release from wants is what you can transfer to savings, which can then become your investment. Now, the 50-30-20 budgeting rule is so easy to work with. And anyone that needs help, I can help. My friends and I can help on that. Like I explained, the needs, these are necessities. If I made the example of phone for a working class mother, and I try to distinguish and say why she may need it as an essential to run her home, now overstretching and going for the latest iPhone when she has not achieved financial freedom and cannot afford it, is certainly a want. Now, I won't dwell on this quickly, but I just want to say that it's important that we have budgets and that we work with budgets, because it is key to financial freedom. It helps us stay in control. Remember, we said we want to be financially fit, and we are financially fit when we're in control of our money. Budgeting helps us. It also brings discipline to our finances. And remember, we want to earn more, we want to save better, and then we want to invest well. A budget will help us achieve all this. Now, what happens to you when you don't use a budget? You can overspend, you can fall into a debt cycle, you can lose control, and then you have limited savings and investments because you're not able to identify the things that are not necessary, that are wants, and push them out till you arrive. Allow me to use the word arrive. So that's it. Quickly, the ESI model, I said you want to earn more, save better, and invest well. Now, for any more, and that's one thing that is very important. If you're young around the call, it's good to work, to aspire to have a good job, to aspire to be the best at an interview. It's good. But I want the young people around the call to understand from day one that they don't need to focus on just paid employment, and that you don't need to focus on just one source of income. I was focused on that for a very long time. And I thank God for grace. I thank God for mercy. I thank God, that I woke up when I did, but I wish that I woke up earlier. And now I keep saying when I talk like this that it's never too late. It's never, ever too late. Now, multiple streams of income is very essential. That's the core of the earn more. We want people to understand that they are not, because we are Nigerians, we're so fixated on I have this job, and we think that's where it ends. I hope that things are changing with the campaign that our community and other people like us are doing, that people are beginning to be aware that they can earn more for their time than just what they lock up in paid employment. So, and that's why we have a session focused on side hustle in this workshop. And we're so grateful to Cardinal Stone for sponsoring the prize. Somebody is going to go home with something to help their side hustle. Multiple streams of income. What can you do better? What can you do on the side? Don't stay on just one source of income. We cannot grow wealth with just one source of income. And we also need to understand that our time is our money. Don't allow people to abuse your time. Your time is your money. The time you need to use to educate yourself financially, the time you need to learn a skill, we need to earn more. So that's for the E. Now, Warren Buffett is a contentious statement because some can say he's wrong, but he says that if your salary is your only source of income, you're one step away from poverty. It's not a hands-on workshop where we break out into small groups to discuss this, but I just leave it on the table. If you think Warren Buffett is right or wrong, put it in a chat box, true or false, Warren Buffett and one source of income. Now, for you to earn more, and there's going to be a talk about it on Saturday, so I'm not going to dwell too much on it, but you must have more than one source of income. You must put a good structure around your side hustle. You get the most from your employer. In other words, when you're using your time, make sure that you're competitive enough to make sure that you can earn better at even the paid employment. But what we're saying is that don't make paid employment the only source of your income. Save better. No matter what you earn, you must put away something as savings. Pay yourself first. And then, as a young person, understand that there's something called emergency funds. Build, if you're working in any capacity, either in paid employment or running a business or whatever, make sure that you have an emergency fund, something that you can reach out to if you suddenly need money. And the advice is that 3 months of your living expenses should be in an account that you can easily reach. Your emergency funds cannot be locked up in an investment. And we say not 3 months of your salary, but 3 months of your living expenses. How will you know what you spend on a monthly basis if you don't have a budget? Now, for you to be able to make sure that your emergency fund is well sourced or set apart, you need to understand what to spend on a monthly basis. There's some people that I coach, I don't know if they're around the call, and I say, open an exercise book. What do you spend as a mother, as a wife, in your family? What do you spend on a monthly basis? Do you know? Some people don't know. And it doesn't matter if you don't even have enough, if you don't even have enough income, but at least have a picture and understand what you're spending. Quickly, so we say everybody should be saving better, and if you're earning and you're not able to save, it's not good, and you can't grow wealth without saving. Now our sponsors are going to come spend 5 minutes or so with us on Sunday to explain the different products that they have, but from as low as 10,000 Naira, you can begin to build up savings and transfer eventually to investments. It's possible. People don't know that, and so that's the S of our model. And for you to save better, you have to have targets. What are you working towards? You have to have a budget that you use to track. And now the I of our model says invest well. Fantastic. We are all, around the call. We're learning how to handle money better. Financial literacy is very important. Understand what your options are. Don't follow the Joneses. Many people Many people who lost money with CBEX or some other Ponzi schemes, they don't ask questions well. They just, they just follow the Joneses. They just come, and people who don't know what they're doing say, bring your 1 month salary to become 1 million naira in 4 weeks. You have to ask questions. You have to understand what's happening. As educated as I am financially, I still ask people questions before I invest. It's almost like it's even bad, Now, we have to be very patient. Money grows on the tree of patience. People who are not patient, they lose money. Now, quickly, I have this 10 points I want to share with you, what I call investment guide. And like I said, if you register for this program and you want access to the slides, you can have the slides. Investment guide, you have to know where you're ending up. You have to know what you want to achieve for a particular season of your life. Now, I know I'm talking to a mix of ages and all of that around the call, but if you're a young person around the call, what do you want to be? Where and when do you want to achieve certain things? And investment decisions must be dependent on your personal circumstances. Like we say our faces are different. Our faces are different. So our financial circumstances, our backgrounds are different. Some of us around the call, we just need to be financially intelligent and financially educated enough to make sure that what the investments and what our parents have done are not wasted, is not wasted. For some people, they have to work hard to break their family chain, break the chain of poverty from their family lineage, okay? And so it depends. And you don't just make an investment because someone is doing it. Your peculiar circumstances, your situation is different. But what is important is that you're educated to understand your options. Now, you also must learn in investment that you don't put all your eggs in the same basket. I said it earlier, don't follow the crowd. And that earlier slide says wealth grows on the tree of patience, professional support in your community. It's sometimes I wonder, I say people have access to resources, but they don't use resources. And then when you invest, if you're a young person, when you invest, always check, I've invested, what's going to happen to what I've invested? And then if you don't understand, don't invest. If somebody comes to you and says, bring $1,000, you go and change all the naira that you have into $1,000 because they said it will become $10,000 in 4 weeks. Some things are plainly lies, no matter how it's sugar-coated. Now, for investment options, there are 3 ways. And if you're not taking anything away, no matter your age around the call today, understand that there are 3 markets that when we want to grow wealth, we can invest in. We can invest in money market. We can invest in capital market. We have a session on Sunday in capital market, just 1 hour. Dr. Charity is going to talk to us about how you can invest in stocks by yourself and grow your portfolio. There's the real estate market. Now, it's something to keep an eye on. It's possible that not everyone around the call today can buy land and build a house, but it's something to keep your eyes on, to understand that these are the options, the opportunities if you want to grow wealth that we must be investing in. If there are couples around the call today, what can you do? Capital market, as sponsors, you can open a brokerage account with them, and they can help you. They can help you start your, your stock, your stock portfolio. Money market. If you think that I can have small money, I can put away for 12 months or 6 months. What's the best rate that you can get? Just understanding that these 3 markets are there as investment options is very key to the conversation. Now, some people think that because I'm not earning so much, I can't invest. There are investment opportunities in different forms. And while, we're very grateful, there are other opportunities. We're grateful to our sponsors. There are other opportunities that you can lock up your money in and get investments. But you also have to be careful to make sure that you're investing through safe organizations. We don't want to sacrifice and push and stretch ourselves anymore and sacrificing and saving only to end up investing in opportunities that, we can go to bed and sleep soundly. So just understand that no matter what you earn, there are investment opportunities. And your money only begins to work for you you only begin to earn passive income when your money begins to work for you. When you put money down, let the money do the work, not necessarily labor. So people that have high income, there are opportunities also. And Dr. Adejobo will be talking to us later today about investing made simple in the simplest of forms. It will help us understand investment better. It's a 1-hour session this evening, and I encourage everyone to be part of it. Now, there are other opportunities to invest. I now have to quickly wrap up. I'm just going to wrap up with, explaining that don't let people cheat you. You shouldn't work so hard and then fall a victim of Ponzi schemes. I say watch you. Why do I say watch you? People are greedy. Remember we started with attitude. That was the first 2 slides were on attitude. What's your desire for growing wealth? I mean, how do you want to approach wealth creation? Are you are you in the microwave mentality realm where you believe that, you put down 1K and then it becomes 10K the next day? No, you have to watch yourself and be very careful. Good enough. I'm very grateful on your behalf. I'm grateful to God that you made yourself available to join this conversation today. You stay financially literate, understand what is happening. And then we said it earlier on, if you don't understand, don't invest. And then don't do follow, okay? Understand risk and return. There's a whole conversation about that. Perhaps Dr. Eldejebo will touch on this later today. But, understand that even as we're saying, let your money work for you, there's a system for the money to work for you. And so don't be greedy. It's greed that really makes people, greed and ignorance that makes people fall victims of Ponzi scheme. And then I say, watch them. The organization that is coming to you, where are they registered? Are they registered? Where is their office? Who are the people behind them? Okay, who are the people behind? Ask questions. And most of the time, you have people around you that you can ask. I remember when MTN was doing their shares, when they were selling shares, some of my mentees came to me and they asked questions. I don't work for MTN. I'm not a stockbroker, but they were inquisitive. They didn't want to be. They wanted to make sure they were doing the right thing. So in whatever investment opportunity that you have, ask questions, okay? And then don't invest and look away. Always check your investments. And if you're retiring, don't go and put all your retirement benefits. Be careful. Be careful what you invest in and what you put on the table. Yeah, we're going to wrap up now. And so this is our last slide. Excuse me. While I put the last slide up, I wanted to put in the chat box, ladies and gentlemen, please put something that you have learned from slide 1 to the last in the chat box. Yes, Kande Matthias, avoiding peer group influence is very important. Christy Bibilem, okay, thank you so much. Maybe replying to that. Someone is asking, oh, okay, yes, we will upload. We will upload the slide. We will upload